Let me ask you something. Have you ever been told to take more vitamins because they can't hurt and the more the better? Many seniors I speak with have cupboards full of bottles, taking handfuls of supplements every single day, thinking they are protecting their health. But here's the shocking truth. Some vitamins, when taken in excess or without proper balance, can actually raise your risk of stroke, sometimes overnight. I know that sounds alarming, but I've seen it time and time again. Seniors who are careful about diet, exercise and lifestyle are unknowingly damaging their arteries and blood vessels with the very supplements they believe are saving them. Today, I want to uncover 6 vitamins you must stop misusing or overusing because the risks are far too great. And let's begin with the first one, the one most people think is heart healthy, yet in reality, it can silently make blood vessels more fragile. Before we continue, let me ask you, where are you watching from? I'd love to know which part of the world you're tuning in from, and also, what's one healthy habit you never skip in your daily routine? Share it with us in the comments below. Number 1, vitamin E in high doses. Vitamin E is often marketed as a powerful antioxidant, something that protects cells from damage. And yes, in small amounts from natural foods like nuts, seeds, and leafy greens, it's wonderful. But here's where the danger lies. Taking high-dose vitamin E supplements, especially in pill form, can thin your blood to a dangerous level. This thinning effect increases the risk of bleeding in the brain, also known as a hemorrhagic stroke. Many people don't realize that vitamin E interferes with clotting, and when taken alongside blood-thinning medications like aspirin or warfarin, the danger multiplies. What you think is protecting your arteries may actually make them more vulnerable to rupture. As we age, our blood vessels naturally become weaker and more prone to small tears. Combine that with high doses of vitamin E, and you create a recipe for bleeding problems. I've met seniors who proudly told me they were taking 400 to 800 IU of vitamin E every day because a friend or an advertisement convinced them it was good for the heart. What they didn't realize is that studies show doses that high can significantly increase stroke risk. If you've ever noticed unexplained bruising, bleeding gums, or nosebleeds while taking vitamin E, that's your body sending you a warning sign. Ignoring those signs can have devastating consequences. I remember a man in his late 60s who came to me after being hospitalized with a mini stroke. He was shocked because he never smoked, ate a fairly healthy diet, and exercised regularly. But when I asked about supplements, he told me he'd been taking high-dose vitamin E capsules daily for heart protection. His doctors later explained that the excess vitamin E likely contributed to his bleeding episode. He said to me, "Barbara, I thought I was helping myself. I didn't know I was putting myself in danger." His story is a reminder of why balance matters more than blind supplementation. Vitamin E is not the enemy, it's the dose that matters. You don't need large pills or capsules to get the benefits. A handful of almonds, sunflower seeds, or spinach in your meals provides plenty of natural vitamin E in safe amounts, along with other nutrients that work in harmony. Nature always packages nutrients in balance, something no synthetic pill can perfectly mimic. So remember this, vitamin E in high doses can silently increase your risk of stroke by thinning your blood too much. It's not about avoiding vitamin E altogether. It's about avoiding the dangerous, isolated, high-dose supplements that do more harm than good. Number 2, vitamin D when taken alone. Vitamin D is essential for health. We know it supports immunity, mood, and bone strength. And yes, deficiencies are common, especially in seniors who don't get enough sunlight. But here's the danger no one talks about. Taking vitamin D in isolation without its partner nutrient vitamin K2 can cause calcium to deposit in the wrong places. Instead of going into your bones where it belongs, that calcium ends up in your arteries, heart valves, and even your kidneys. This process is called vascular calcification, and it's one of the hidden drivers of stroke risk in older adults. The more calcified and stiff your arteries become, the harder your heart has to pump, the higher your blood pressure climbs, and the greater your chance of a blood vessel rupture or blockage in the brain. Most seniors are told to take vitamin D for strong bones, but without guidance, they pop high-dose vitamin D tablets daily, sometimes 2,000 to 5,000 IU or more, without realizing they're setting themselves up for arterial damage. I've seen so many cases where seniors complain, "Barbara, I've been taking vitamin D for years, but my doctor says my arteries are clogged and my blood pressure is rising." This isn't a coincidence. It's the body redirecting calcium into the wrong tissues because vitamin D was given alone, without K2 to act as the traffic director. K2 is the nutrient that tells calcium, go into the bones, not into the arteries. Without it, vitamin D supplementation can be like giving your arteries a slow cement coating. I once met a woman in her 70s who was terrified because her doctor told her she had early signs of calcification in her arteries, despite taking vitamin D faithfully for years. She said to me, "Barbara, I thought I was protecting my bones, but now I'm scared for my heart." When I asked if she was taking vitamin K2 alongside her vitamin D, she looked at me with confusion. Her doctor had never mentioned it. That lack of balance had put her health at risk. When she adjusted her approach, reducing her supplement dose and focusing on getting vitamin D from sunlight and food, along with K2 from natural sources like fermented foods, she felt more energetic and her blood pressure stabilized. It was a powerful reminder that it's not about taking more, it's about taking the right balance. Your body needs vitamin D, but it must always be paired with K2. This way, calcium is guided into bones and teeth where it belongs, instead of hardening your arteries. The safest way to get vitamin D is through moderate sun exposure, which naturally stimulates your body to produce exactly what it needs. And if supplementation is necessary, always seek professional guidance to ensure it's paired with K2. So remember this. Vitamin D by itself may strengthen your bones on paper, but in reality, it can harden your arteries and raise your stroke risk. This is why balance matters more than blind supplementation. Number 3, vitamin B6, when overused. Vitamin B6 is an important nutrient. It helps your body make neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood, and it plays a role in metabolism and nerve health. But here's what most people don't realize. Unlike other water-soluble B vitamins that your body simply flushes out when there's too much, B6 can accumulate in the body when taken in large doses. High levels of vitamin B6 can overstimulate your nervous system, causing tingling in your hands and feet, nerve pain, and even long-term nerve damage. But more importantly for seniors, excess B6 can disrupt blood pressure regulation, leading to sudden spikes that put dangerous strain on the arteries feeding your brain. Those pressure surges increase the risk of vessel rupture, clot formation, and stroke. Seniors are particularly at risk because many energy or nerve health supplements marketed to older adults contain very high doses of B6, sometimes 20 to 100 times more than the body actually needs. And because it accumulates, the risk compounds over time. I've met seniors who were told to take B-complex vitamins for extra energy. They believed more was better, so they doubled or tripled the dose. Over time, they began experiencing numbness, burning sensations, and dizziness. These weren't random symptoms. They were warnings that their nervous system and circulation were under attack from too much B6. I recall one elderly gentleman who came to me worried about constant tingling in his legs and high blood pressure readings. He said, "Barbara, I thought B vitamins were safe. I've been taking them every day for years." When I looked at his supplement, it contained 50 milligrams of B6 per capsule, far above the safe daily amount. His body had been overloaded for months. Once he reduced his dosage and switched to getting more B6 from foods like bananas, chickpeas, and poultry, his symptoms gradually improved and his blood pressure stabilized. He later told me, "I thought I was giving my body strength, but I was weakening it instead." His story is one of many I've encountered, and it shows just how easy it is to misuse supplements when we don't understand their risks. Vitamin B6 is vital, but in very small amounts. Adults generally only need around 1.5 to 2 milligrams per day, which is easily obtained from a balanced diet. Foods like bananas, potatoes, spinach, poultry, and chickpeas give you natural, safe levels of B6 without the dangers of overdose. Supplements should only be considered if a deficiency is confirmed, and even then, under professional guidance at safe doses. Remember this: vitamin B6 is not always harmless. Taken in excess, it can cause nerve damage, raise blood pressure, and increase your stroke risk. More is not always better when it comes to vitamins. Balance and moderation are what keep your body safe. Number 4, vitamin C in high doses. Most people believe vitamin C is harmless. Take as much as you want. It's water soluble, so your body just flushes out the excess. That's what we've all been told. But here's the truth. Very high doses of vitamin C can actually increase your risk of developing blood clots and kidney stones, and clots are one of the direct causes of stroke. When vitamin C is consumed in large amounts, 1,000 milligrams, 2,000 milligrams, or more daily, it can promote oxidative stress in certain individuals instead of preventing it. It can also increase iron absorption to a level that's damaging, especially for seniors who already have higher iron stores. Excess iron fuels free radical activity, which damages blood vessel walls, making them more prone to rupture or blockage. I remember a woman who told me, "Barbara, I never skip my vitamin C. I take 2,000 milligrams every morning because I don't want to get sick." Yet she was constantly complaining of headaches, fatigue, and blood pressure spikes. When she reduced her dosage and got vitamin C from natural foods like oranges, bell peppers, and kiwi, her symptoms eased and her circulation improved. Her story is a reminder. Even so-called harmless vitamins can become harmful in excess. Your body only needs around 65 to 90 milligrams of vitamin C per day, which you can easily get from a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. A fresh orange or a handful of berries gives you all the vitamin C you need without the risks that come from megadosing supplements. Number 5, vitamin A, retinol in excess. Vitamin A is another nutrient that is vital in the right amounts. It supports vision, immunity, and cell repair. But here's where the danger lies. When taken in excess, especially in the form of synthetic retinol supplements, vitamin A becomes toxic. Excess vitamin A can cause increased intracranial pressure, a dangerous rise in the pressure inside your skull. This pressure can damage delicate blood vessels in the brain, raising the risk of hemorrhagic stroke. Seniors who already have fragile arteries are at the highest risk. I've seen cases where seniors took fish liver oil capsules or vitamin A supplements daily, thinking they were protecting their eyes. Instead, they developed dizziness, headaches, blurred vision, and even balance problems, classic signs of vitamin A toxicity. One elderly gentleman told me, "Barbara, I just wanted to keep my eyesight strong, but now I'm afraid of falling and fainting." When we reviewed his supplements, he had been unknowingly taking 4 times the recommended safe level of vitamin A every day. Once he stopped the excess supplementation and relied on food sources like carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens, his symptoms eased. Your body can get all the vitamin A it needs safely from foods like carrots, spinach, and sweet potatoes. These foods provide beta-carotene, a form of vitamin A that your body converts only as much as it needs, so there's no risk of overdose. Supplements with synthetic retinol should only ever be taken under strict medical supervision. So remember this: vitamin C and vitamin A are not as harmless as they appear. In high doses, vitamin C can contribute to clotting and oxidative stress, while vitamin A can increase pressure inside the skull and weaken blood vessels. Both of these outcomes raise stroke risk, especially in seniors. Number 6, vitamin K when taken as supplements without guidance. Vitamin K is essential for life. It helps your blood clot properly and keeps your bones strong. But here's the problem. When taken in supplement form, especially alongside medications like warfarin or aspirin, vitamin K can interfere with blood clotting in unpredictable and dangerous ways. If you take too much vitamin K, your blood may clot too easily, raising the risk of a clot forming in the arteries that supply your brain, a direct cause of stroke. On the other hand, if you're on blood thinners and you suddenly increase your vitamin K intake through supplements, it can counteract your medication, making your treatment ineffective. This delicate balance is why vitamin K supplementation without medical guidance is so risky for seniors. As we age, many of us are prescribed medications for heart disease, high blood pressure, or atrial fibrillation. These conditions already increase stroke risk. Adding vitamin K supplements without precise supervision can make the situation worse, either by tipping the balance toward dangerous clots or by interfering with your prescribed treatment. I've met seniors who proudly said, "Barbara, I'm taking vitamin K for my bones because I read it helps," but they didn't realize it was working against the very medications their doctors had prescribed to protect them. That's how quickly a healthy habit can become dangerous. I remember a woman in her early 70s who told me she had started taking a vitamin K supplement because she read it could help prevent osteoporosis. But she was also on warfarin for atrial fibrillation. Within weeks, her blood tests showed her clotting levels were unstable, and her doctor warned her she was at much higher risk of a stroke. She looked at me and said, "Barbara, I thought I was helping my bones, but I was endangering my brain." That moment of realization was heartbreaking, but it was also empowering, because once she stopped supplementing and focused on food-based sources, her levels stabilized. Your body does need vitamin K, but the safest way to get it is from food. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and broccoli provide natural vitamin K in balanced amounts that work with your body's rhythm. Unlike supplements, food doesn't overwhelm your system or interfere dangerously with medications. If you are prescribed blood thinners, always discuss your diet with your doctor so your vitamin K intake stays consistent and safe. So let's bring this all together. The 6 vitamins that can raise stroke risk when taken in excess or without balance are vitamin E. High doses thin the blood too much. Vitamin D, without K2, can cause calcium buildup in arteries. Vitamin B6 accumulates and raises blood pressure when overused. Vitamin C, high doses, increases clotting and oxidative stress. Vitamin A, retinol in excess, raises intracranial pressure and vessel fragility. Vitamin K, supplements without guidance, interferes with clotting and blood thinner medications. Each of these vitamins has an important role in the body, but balance is the key. More is not always better, and in fact, more can sometimes be deadly. I want you to remember something very important. Vitamins from food are always safer than vitamins from bottles. Nature designed nutrients to work together in harmony, not in isolation. When you eat a variety of whole foods, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins, you nourish your body in the way it was meant to be nourished. And if you must take supplements, do it under professional guidance. Never assume that more means safer. Protecting your health is not about chasing pills. It's about creating balance, protecting your arteries, and giving your brain and heart what they need most: oxygen-rich blood, clean circulation, and natural nourishment. So tonight, before you swallow another handful of pills, pause and ask yourself, am I helping my body or am I putting myself at risk? Your health, your freedom, and your future depend on these small but powerful choices.